Hello guys, welcome to Cinetober Part 2 and Scream Part 2. So, if you all have noticed, I just got to the scene where Cotton shows up right when Sidney Prescott is about to be killed. Cotton shows up and he's got a gun. He's like, now will someone tell me what the frick is I said frick. What is going on here? And then he finds that Debbie Salt, also aka Mrs. Loomis, has a gun to Sidney's head. Or actually, no, she has a knife to her throat. And so basically, he's like, so I'm guessing you're not Debbie Salt's. And Cotton has been trying to get an interview through this whole entire movie. And she's like, look, I can help you. I can get you this interview. She put you in jail for a year. She's trying to get Cotton to let her kill her. And he's like, and he even though he's wanting this interview, I don't think anyone would let someone threaten someone else's life just for an interview. So he's got the gun to her. He's got the gun to Mrs. Loomis, and then he points the gun at Sidney, and he's like, well, you're in a situation here, aren't you, Sidney? This really does suck for you, huh? And she's like, Cotton, don't you dare listen to her. Don't you dare. And then he's like, about that interview, and she's like, consider it done. Okay, bam. Shoots Mrs. Loomis in the throat. In the throat. And then they find out that Gail is still alive. We do get a jump scare. It's when when you think Cotton's getting ready to get killed, and he's like, "Oh my gosh!" And it's Gail Weathers. She survived. And then her and Sidney are standing over there, and they're like, "Be careful." They say that they always come back for one more. And then Mickey rises up, and then we see Sidney and Gail just going on, like shooting the crap out of Mickey, making sure he ain't coming back. I think they put like 5 bullets in him, combination of 10 in his chest. He's not coming back. So then right before you think the movie's over, they go back to look at Mrs. Loomis, and then Sidney just gets the gun, bam, shot in the head, and then she's like, just in case. Oh my gosh. So then the police arrive, and then we discover that everyone is okay. You know, everyone out of Sidney, Gail, Dewey, they're all still alive. And somehow, okay, in the first film, Dewey got stabbed, but in this movie, he's limping, and we find out that it was he got a nerve severed. Where the killer stabs him, it just happens to be the same place that Billy or Steven stabbed him before. I was like, how ironic. And they're like, old scar tissue. Saved him. I was like, wow. That's funny. So then Gail gets in the van with Dewey, and they're obviously going to be a couple. And then before that, Cotton's like, Sid, I hope you know that I would never do anything to hurt you. And they do kind of somewhat establish a friendship at the end of it. And then the whole entire news crew comes out and they're like, Sidney, what's it like being a hero? And she's like, you know what? You want to interview? Talk to Cotton. He's the hero. And then Cotton, being humble, says there's a time and a place for it. This is not it. And so everyone that survived, and that's the end of Scream 2. It was produced by Wes Craven, a good sequel. I really did like this movie. I did. When I watched these movies back home, I watched the first one, the second, and the third, and then I watched the fourth. So I think this one is an hour and like an hour and 10 minutes. So I maybe spent 3 or 4 hours watching these movies. But these are great horror movies. I strongly suggest checking this out. It's on Netflix. All 3 of them are, except the 4th one. The 4th one is not on Netflix. If you want to watch that, you'd have a better chance at probably finding it on what's left of Megashare, or just finding it online or something. Or go buy it on DVD, you know. These are a pretty good movie series. This is a pretty good movie series. Well, guys, this has been another episode of Cinetober. I hope you are enjoying it. Put in the comments below, what is your favorite part, or what is your favorite horror movie sequel? I really want to know. Because I gotta say, this is probably mine. This is probably my favorite horror movie sequel. Guys, hope you're having a good October. Have a good day.